Howdy, everybody, and welcome back to Dead Pit. Creepy Kentuckian here.
And I'm Uncle Bill. Hi. Greetings.
Patron request. This is a special review that we're doing for baller and shot caller Dumile, who always sends us some of the most eclectic films to talk about on this show. So today is a movie that I was aware of, but I had never seen. I didn't know what it was about. I think I'd seen it in Walmart quite a bit. I think that like back in the day when it came out, which I think it was 2013 when it came out. I'd seen it. I thought the cover of it, because Scarlett Johansson's in this, but she's got dark hair, right? Scarlett normally has blonde hair.
Right.
So I was thinking, well, hell, that girl looks just like fucking Fairuza Balk like 20 years ago, but it couldn't be her. Who the hell was it? Right. That's who I thought it was. But no, it was ScarJo, right? Is that what they call ScarJo?
Yeah.
ScarJo. The director of this, Jonathan Glazer, also did that movie Birth. Do you remember that movie Birth with Nicole Kidman?
I do.
Where she gets naked and sits in a bathtub with a little boy.
Yep.
I don't know how the hell they got away with that, even on a movie. That's very weird, but congratulations, that little feller. I mean, hell, that had to make his fucking life up to that point. And that movie is very weird as well. I think like the story of that one was like the little boy was actually reincarnated somebody else, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That was a story, but it's still a little kid sitting in a bathtub.
Yeah, I mean, the movie itself, it's still this little kid getting enjoying the sight of Nicole Kidman's younger boobies. She, luckily back then, she didn't look like somebody stretched her fucking face out. And she didn't lose that extra 50 pounds that she lost in the last few years.
Yeah, she did. She pulled the fucking boss treatment where she got like way too thin. Or not the boss. It's fucking Sasha Banks, the man.
I think
she got like way too thin, and then like her head got too big, and now she looks like E.T.
Yeah, I think Keith Urban's shittiness just sucked the life out of her.
Poor old Keith Urban, bulls.
He ain't worth a goddamn, bulls. Who the fuck listens to that shit?
Apparently there's a lot of people that do.
Well, that guy's got X-Pac heat with me. When I see his fucking Aussie ass going on and everything, I want to turn the channel.
You know who makes really good music, though, is Florida Georgia Line. That's some good shit. And I like to listen to that on the way home.
You like to glide or whatever the hell that song was. You got to glide down to Georgia and Florida.
I like to glide down to Georgia and kill them motherfuckers. It's like you quit making music. Stop that shit.
No, it's Cruise. That was the name of the song. Cruise.
Here's the funny part.
Baby, you know I'm gonna go down with my sister and Cruise.
Is that how it is?
Yeah.
We're gonna go cruising for a bruising. I'm gonna fuck my sister.
I could see those guys in the Cruising movie, though. They look like they'd fit right in that. Give them a leather jacket or something and put some handkerchiefs in their pocket.
Yeah.
They'd work that one.
Get them a yellow handkerchief and piss on them.
I'd get them a brown one. But anyway.
That's for chest shitting right there.
That's neither here nor there, right?
Right.
We're talking about Under the Skin.
The funny thing about like this movie, though, is I kind of want to thank Dumile and also curse him for this movie, because I want to thank him because ScarJo is nude throughout this movie, like multiple different times. They're trying like really hard to make it like not sexy, like you can tell, just make it like very like whatever bland and all.
Good luck with that.
That's not possible. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, this movie is almost completely without dialogue. So it's super artsy fucking fartsy too at the same time. It really is. I don't know. Yeah. And then like I was telling you, like, I don't know how the fuck I'm supposed to feel about this movie. It's one of those movies where it's like, it's memorable for certain, but I don't know how do you
Why would somebody want to own this movie? Like that, this is one movie that, I mean, maybe to gather all the information that's going on in it, it's probably best to watch it a couple times, but I would never want to. I'm not going to say I hated it either, because I've seen a lot worse movies than this. But this movie is just there. Like, you could watch this movie on fast forward and get the exact same experience. Like, it's shot kind of like a Skinamarink. Don't you think? I mean, because
it's not that bad.
It's not that bad, but because there's actually actors in it, and you get to see tits in it at least. And Uncle Bill's excited about seeing the Elephant Man's dick, which we'll talk about that here in a little bit too.
I have questions about those scenes too. Many questions that we need to talk about.
But yeah, it's just where they focus on one thing forever before they move on to anything. And by the time you think you've figured out what in the fuck you're watching, it goes to something else bizarre.
Well, it's a whole lot. I'd say probably 50 to 60% of the movie is just like close-ups of ScarJo just driving, or like just looking into a mirror, or just like doing basic things that, and I'm really not a huge fan of movies when they do that. Like, I know there's a lot of movies like that where they spend an inordinate amount of time on just normal, kind of things, and just, I guess, to set a mood. I'm not entirely sure why they're doing it. It's like avant-garde kind of shit. But that happens a lot in this movie. So there's a lot of like very slow paced,
visual.
Yeah. There's some interesting visuals in it too. Like, especially when you get to the scenes that we were talking about, like with where I don't want to say she kidnaps them, but she traps the guys or whatever.
Now,
I couldn't tell you I don't know what the fuck this movie's about. Like, if you're waiting for a plot line or anything, I have no idea.
Hear me out for this one. Now, this will really fuck with you, right? Is this a very loose remake of Phantasm, Uncle Bill?
No. No, that was the farthest thing away from what I was thinking.
But I mean, it's similar, right? So Scarlett Johansson's an alien.
Is she? Like, what is she exactly?
She's an alien. Yeah, I looked it up. I mean, to make sure, because I didn't know what the fuck. I thought she fucking was taking off her skin and was one of them damn mannequins and McAlpins or something back in the day.
She looks like fucking mannequin at Dick's Sporting Goods or something. I don't know what the fuck that thing's supposed to be.
Right. So she's an alien, and she is seducing these men and tricking them or whatever to harvest them or whatever for her people.
Right.
Her race.
I guess that's what she's doing, yeah.
So in that respect, in my opinion, it's the same, like it's very similar plot-wise to Phantasm. The tall man's harvesting these bodies to take back to his... So, I mean, yeah. But that's
the only difference is there's not a bunch of fucking dudes walking around with semi-wrecked dicks falling into like...
the tall man does have tits. The tall man does have tits in the first movie, though, right?
Yeah.
So he switches from the lady in lavender. He morphs from her to the tall man. Lady in lavender had some amazing tits.
Let me tell you something. That's got to be a shirt right there. The tall man had tits. Just have a picture of the lady in lavender on it.
The tall man has a nice set of tits.
But anyway, like, so that's basically the only plot that I could figure out either. Like, I kind of figured that she was an alien in the beginning, because like she's like doing there's all this space. There's no like context for what's going on, but they just show these different kind of like spaceship looking things. And then like you see her, like
it's set in Scotland or something.
Yeah. And then you see like this woman get kidnapped or whatever and brought into this, like, and the room is completely black.
Yeah, and there's certain scenes that have like a pool of black that they get into, and they're like, I guess that's how they're absorbed into her ship or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. And
so yeah, like you said, like when she's going to like kidnap these guys, that's the only way I can really think of it, because she's driving around in this like van and she just picks up these homely looking dudes and she's like, hey, when's the last time you had a girlfriend? When's the last time you got touched? And all this shit, trying to weirdly seduce them or something.
This director's kind of crazy too, because I heard a lot of those guys weren't even actors. They were real people that they just picked up.
That is crazy.
I was looking in IMDb in the trivia and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah.
That's well, and so the first couple of guys, like I didn't know what the hell was going on when it first happened, but they just kind of like, they follow her into this room and then it's like, there's just nothingness and black. And she walks past, and then as they're walking, they kind of sink down in this like goo, and then they're just gone. And you don't know, like in the beginning, like
it's like the infinity pool, except it's black instead of red or whatever.
Exactly. And then she just moves on to the next, and that's basically the whole fucking movie.
The Elephant Man, though, we got to talk about him.
I was like,
well, I think the thing too is she's, as the movie's going along, she's discovering different things that she can do as a human, like sex and stuff like that. Like that, you know, she is kind of interested in like her new human body as well. Which I would be too. I'd be laying in front of a mirror playing with myself all the time if I was Scarlett Johansson.
You'd just be fucking walking through the grocery store with your titties
I would be seeing how many items I could stuff up in there and everything.
I'd be like, I got a fucking stapler up in there, boy. Look here.
Let's see if this eggplant will fit up there.
See if I can get a pineapple.
Come on. On. I want to shit out some pool balls, boys.
There is a scene. I think that's legit too, isn't it? Like, I don't think that's makeup. I thought maybe it was makeup.
See, I 100% thought it was makeup, but no, this guy really has.
That's what I thought.
Some kind of deformity with his face. His name's Adam Pearson, and you know, I don't want to be mean, but it's like the Elephant Man kind of.
It's exactly what it looks like. Yeah.
It's an oversized head. And the mannerisms were like the eyes blinking and his mouth. At first I was like, well, that's a pretty killer prosthetic. But yeah, I was looking at it more and more and everything. And I looked on IMDb and I saw, you know, his profile photo on there, and that's him. That's the poor guy, I think he's a British actor that the director specifically auditioned people with that deformity.
So I was like, okay, I'm kind of following this movie like up to that point, because by the way, and this is something we haven't talked about, like, but every single one of these guys that she traps or whatever, they feel the need to show them not only naked but like semi erect.
Yeah, and I see Hard Peter pretty early on in this.
I'm like, what? And then I'm like, there ain't no way they're going to do this. I was like, there ain't no fucking way they're going to show this guy with his dick hanging out. And sure enough, they showed him with his dick. And I'm like, I'm jumping off this movie.
Could you imagine that? Like,
no, I can't. And I can't imagine like somebody wanting to film. Like, why? Like, what?
I think this guy just likes crossing the line. Like,
it's stupid. Like, when you see shit like that, it just takes me completely out of the movie, because it's like, why is this in here? It's in here for no other reason than to be like shocking. Like, there's nothing about it that adds anything to the story or adds anything at all to, like, it's just it's real exploitation, like not fucking in the good way.
Yeah, I mean, imagine this dude, Adam Pearson, who has this abnormality. Literally, it's like a bobblehead. His head is huge. And it's, you know, I mean, I feel sorry for the guy. But man, talk about having some major balls.
You see him.
Yeah. And right in front of Scarlett Johansson, who is fucking perfect. Like, her perfect body. Beautiful, right? And here you are, bearing it all. It's bad enough that you got to fucking gigantic head that I'm trying not to make fun of him. I'm really not, because I feel sorry for people like that. Like, that's a hard row to hoe, if you will.
That's hard times, Daddy.
But I guess, going through life, dealing with that, he just gives zero fucks. He's like, here, see my Peter, Scarlett. Here you go.
I guess, because that's exactly what happens. And there's another scene in this movie, too, where I'm like, what? Like, you just, throughout this movie, I'm like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, how did we get to this point in my life where I'm like watching this shit?
Leave it to Dumile, man.
But like,
this guy picks shit.
There's a scene where like one of the guys falls into this, goo, and he's butt ass naked. And then he sees like another one of the guys, like probably 20 feet from him, who's also butt ass naked. And they're just like floating in this fucking goo with their dicks hanging out. And then he's like, he reaches out to touch him. Oh, let me touch you. And then he touches him, and then that guy explodes or something. But it's like, what? Just that visual, these two fucking guys. Look here, I'm floating and my dick's out. Floating in this goo.
It's all slimy black goo.
I don't know what I'm supposed to make out of this movie is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Am I supposed to be impressed by the visuals? Am I supposed to be offended? Am I supposed to be like thinking about? I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to get from this movie.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what kind of success this had when it came out in 2013. I do recall it being, like I said, at Walmart. Jonathan Glazer.
There ain't no way this movie's at Walmart.
Yes,
really?
100% it was at Walmart. Yes. I remember seeing it. I remember the cover because, like I said, I saw the cover. I thought it was Fairuza Balk, but it was a very young.
You imagine
Fairuza
somebody
Balk.
from around here picking this movie up just on a whim or something?
My God.
Being like,
crack them open, some Coors Light.
Yeah. That
smoking
guy,
a cigarette.
Man's got his dick out.
Friday night in Eastern Kentucky, going over to Prestonsburg Walmart. He's like, I got some extra money. I'm going to pick me up a movie. Picks this movie up, gets him a fucking case of beer, some Marlboro Lights.
Yep.
Gets maybe a Little Caesar's pizza and kicks back in his fucking trailer. And
that's how you do it.
That was a wild night, boys. That would have been wild night. This movie's very fucking out there. Now, it's like, what is it? Close to 2 hours, I think.
Like an hour and 50 minutes almost.
I had to watch this in different settings. It's very slow. There's no dialogue to it. It is very weird. So I can understand why people would like it for that. It's very odd. And I got to hand it to Scarlett Johansson, man. Like, this girl really had no business making a movie like this, but she did. I guess she just said, fuck it, I want to do this.
Yeah. It really is odd to me because, like, what a strange movie to go at that stage in your career. But
did it hurt her career, you think? Because what is she doing lately?
She's doing them fucking Avengers movies, isn't she? Like,
oh, well, that's why.
I mean, that's all anybody's doing anyway, though. But I mean, she's got plenty of money because all she has to do is that. They pay her, I'm sure, about $10 million just to do that.
If that doesn't work out for her, she can definitely show her tits in some movies and make some more money that way.
This movie, though, you know who I'd love to see review this movie? Rambo. That'd be the best thing.
This is an A24 movie, so
yeah,
he's not a fan of those anyway. This is like the epitome of an A24 movie, by the way.
It is.
I mean, it's got everything that one would think of.
I mean, I don't think that here's the other part about it too. And Ben on here says that Stranger Things borrowed from this movie. Like, I can kind of see that in those like empty room scenes, because there's scenes almost identical to that in Stranger Things. I'm not saying this movie is completely meritless either, though. Like, it has a lot of like really cool visual shots that you'd never in a million years think of or like really understand how they do or anything like that. But it doesn't have any like pace or flow to it or anything. Like, it doesn't have any driving. It's just, I don't know. It, like T-shirt Joe says, it's just not my thing. It's just not my fucking, like, I would never sit down and watch a movie like this. Just
no. I mean, it's definitely like you hear us talk about these guys all the time that enjoy the smell of their own farts. That's the people that made this movie. No reason, like, okay, this is a perfect concept for a 20-minute short, I think, right? I don't know how you would make an exciting movie out of what they, this plot here. It'd be very difficult.
I'm always confused by when people do movies like this to where it's like, there's no real plot. There's no real dialogue. There's no real like A, B, or C like points or like, thing to take you from one part of the story to the other. I'm always confused when people make this type of film to where it's nearly like all visual and it's almost all the same visuals and almost everything the same. Like I can get the point of doing a visual style movie with little dialogue if it is like breaking new ground or like, like amazing and in the presentation of whatever the visuals are. But I just never understand movies like this. Like, what the fuck are they trying to accomplish? I don't understand that.
Who knows? It's always a mystery.
I tell you what they did accomplish, though. They got me almost semi-erect. Showing Scarlett Johansson. Buddy, fuck you.
Well, that was nice. But yeah, this movie, man, like these sort of movies are just not for us. Anybody that's listened to the show for a lengthy period of time would probably realize like these are just not our types of movies. It did have some interesting stuff in it, some great visuals. The end where she kind of sheds her human skin is kind of cool how they did that.
That's kind of crazy, yeah.
Yeah. Would I recommend this to the common person? No. But if you're one of those type of people that, you're buying the deaf crocodile shit, the Measle Parakeet Productions movies, all the partner labels and stuff like that, you would probably love this. So if you're into that sort of thing, Under the Skin from 2013 is where you need to go.
Yeah, I mean, you really have to be like somebody that's very adventurous in films and likes like that kind of avant-garde style of filmmaking and stuff. Because the common man, the sons of a plumber, if you will, they're not going to understand what the fuck is going on.
They're not going to understand it's ridiculousness in here, baby. They just got its lovely bosom, but I mean, you don't know what the hell else is going on if you're an alien creature.
There's the liquid goo on everything. I don't like it.
Look at that old nasty sludge. I'd like to throw that asshole Tully Blanchard in that sludge, baby.
Somebody left a baby on the beach in this movie, if you will. There's a full little infant on the beach, Daddy. I don't like that.
That alien spacecraft was riding on the edge of a lightning bolt, Daddy. Under the Skin. That was from Dumile, and we appreciate the requests. And he's been a baller and shot caller for a long time. As of we're recording this, we do have one baller and shot caller spot left. There's only 4. So if you want to claim the spot, DEADPIT on patreon.com. You book the show, man. Review, commentary, show topic, whatever you want, boss. So we appreciate everybody checking this out, and we will catch you guys next time on DEADPIT.com. Give us the thumbs up, like, subscribe, and if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that DEADPIT puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a fuck.
I want you to. I don't care. Let's keep our community growing here on YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that.
No, don't you dare touch it.
Thumbs up. Subscribe. And click that bell.
There's all kinds of wonderful shirts over at shop.deadpit.com. Simply the best horror shirts. On TeePublic, there are others. but they all suck. You can get some Dead Pit Radio shirts. You can get Last Out on the Left. The Hills Have Eyes. Texas Chainsaw. Oh, wait, you can't say Texas Chainsaw. All kinds of shirts, folks. You're gonna love them. shop.deadpit.com.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. DeadPit on Patreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows, fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.
We ain't never gonna change. We ain't doing nothing wrong. We ain't never gonna change. So shut your mouth and play along. Well, I thought about
That movie has too many dicks in it.